After lunch, I cleaned up the hygiene. During the pandemic, we should save resources. So in the end, except for my instant noodle bag, there was only a little rotted lettuce leaves. Even the old stems that I never ate before, I chewed them up and ate them. After doing all this, I called my grandparents' parents again to report my situation. Then my parents gave me a one-sided boost. After the call, I started browsing online videos. Meanwhile, on the computer, I also started downloading some post-apocalyptic movies. Art comes from life. Learning more is no harm. As I searched more, I found that words like end of the world virus, words like zombie virus seem to be blocked. I couldn't find these on the internet. Some people might say that. Why not go to the wall to check it? But I have to pay for membership to watch TV dramas. Climb the wall to check the foreign website? So after watching for 2 hours, I got nothing but eye pain. I spent the first day of quarantine like this. After dinner, I found that the headlines on my phone were all the latest news from the central government. Recently, the epidemic has rebounded in many places. After research, it is a new variant virus. It is highly infectious. It attacks rapidly. So if someone has a fever and a green face, you must call the prevention and control hotline. Once the news came out, the whole country was shocked. There's a new virus. And green. Shouldn't people with fever and high temperature have red faces? There are many people on the internet playing jokes. But I, who had already guessed the truth, I feel cold all over because the high-risk area was announced. Coincidentally, in our county, although we are already on the edge, we still got infected. I think we should have been surrounded by zombies by now. The only thing I'm glad about now is my parents are not at home. My grandma's house is not far from my home, but it belongs to. The neighboring city is a zombie city. Why did I really encounter it? This damn life. Because this epidemic is a national isolation and prevention. With the example of the new officials in previous years, massive prevention and control isolation has not caused too much shock. Just complaining about the wasted salary, mortgage debt. Then the country released a series of subsidy policies. Now there is no more complaining. They all took it as an opportunity to rest. They are really happy-go-lucky people. Those who don't know are still having fun and even having parties. Like my upstairs neighbor has been going on since dark. Ding dong ding dong dong. If it were a normal day, I would have gone to find them in the morning. But now I can only endure it. I hide behind the curtains, carefully observing. I have a habit of peeping through the door, but now this is the only way to make me feel at ease. Watching and watching. I saw from the black patrol car at the gate. A group of people came out, and they seemed to be entering the community. What's going on? I carefully pulled the curtains a little tighter, for fear of revealing a gap. I only showed a little camera of my phone. I thought they seemed to be coming towards our building. Could it be that someone in our building is infected? Due to the angle, the phone quickly lost sight of these people. Yes, I heard more intense noises coming from upstairs. Could it be that I guessed wrong? They came to coordinate the noise disturbance. Soon, the noise upstairs stopped. I saw that person leave, but it seemed that 2 people were missing. But maybe they went to do something else, or continue to negotiate upstairs. I looked at the empty community for a while, except for the occasional shift change at the gate. The rest was endless loneliness. I think maybe the group warned them not to make loud noises. The community is really quiet now. Before going to bed, I called my parents again to report my safety. Then I laid down on the bed. The temperature in November is a bit cold. I don't know if the heating fee has been paid this year, or will there be floor heating this year? Maybe it's because of the cold, or overthinking. When I woke up, it was still dark. I took my phone and checked. It's 2 a.m. I had insomnia again. I put on the silent slippers. I went to check the door first. The door is fine, and the access control video showed no suspicious people. To be exact, no one has appeared. After checking everything, I went back to the recliner where I laid yesterday. I quietly started to look at the street lights outside. I don't want to look at my phone or watching TV shows. I couldn't sleep. I just wanted to daze. I don't know how long I was in a daze. When I came to my senses, I heard something fall on the floor upstairs with 2 thumps. Then it was quiet again. After a while, a pair of people appeared downstairs. Judging by the number, they should be from the patrol team. But this time, they seemed to be carrying something away. I couldn't see clearly at night without my phone. When I took out my phone, they had already gone far. Only then did I realize the night was particularly dark. I didn't know when the street lights outside had gone out, and there was no light in the distance. There was no moon in the sky, only a few stars. Only the patrol car was nearby, flashing red and blue lights. Everything was pitch black. I just realized why the ancients described darkness as pitch black. After I curled up again, I waved my hands in front of my eyes. I really couldn't see my hands. I forgot when I fell asleep. Anyway, when I woke up the next day, I found myself still lying in the chair, and I had a stuffy nose. Being sick at this time is a big deal. I dare not delay. I quickly found the medicine cabinet. I took the cold medicine. I took a large dose, trying to nip the illness in the bud. After taking the medicine, I ate something casually, considering that a cold needs to be kept warm. I went to my mom's room to find 2 sets of clothes. I found 2 electric blankets on the cabinet. It was a pleasant surprise. I spread the electric blanket, so I wouldn't be cold even if I didn't turn on the air conditioner. After a while, the medicine took effect. Maybe I took a little too much. I feel dizzy now. I forced myself to make a phone call after waking up. I lay down again. This time I turned on the electric blanket. I don't know how long I slept this time. I just feel my head is heavy. I almost fell down when I got out of bed. I went to the bathroom and washed my face. To wake up, I returned to the room. I wanted to check the time. I found that my phone was out of power. I charged it and turned it on. It was already 9 o'clock in the evening. I slept longer than ever before. I slept more than a circle. I wanted to call my parents quickly. They must be worried. How worried they must be. But I couldn't get through after calling for a long time. My phone is broken. Let's try WeChat. My main account was blocked, but I had a secondary account. Then I found that WeChat on my computer only showed a red exclamation mark. It wasn't my phone's problem, but there was no signal. Today is the 5th day of my quarantine, the 3rd day of being isolated from the world. Today, the community delivered supplies to every resident. I saw several large trucks through the windows, entered the community. Through the access control replay, I saw the contents of the supplies. A big bag of flour, big bags of rice, some condiments, and some durable vegetables. I saw the staff wandering around my door for a while, maybe to confirm if there was really no one home. They finally left. After all, if someone was there, they would have taken it. After all, the supplies are free. I saw the supply truck leave in the evening, and the gate was sealed again. Maybe they were delivering supplies today. Everyone had enough supplies. In the evening, through the crack of the door, I smelled a tempting aroma. I also cooked a meal today. It's a lumpy soup. The method is very simple, but I didn't make it very tasty because I didn't stir fry the pot. I didn't dare to turn on the range hood a few days ago. I almost choked to death by the stir frying, so I only boil water. The first reason is convenience, and second, it doesn't have a strong smell. I safely ate a bowl of pimple soup with pickles. I think there should be enough in the pot because there is no internet. I have no idea about the outside world. I have no idea what's going on now, but also because there is no internet, I have more time to think. Through thinking and reviewing what happened these days, I think the upstairs may not have a party that day, combined with the things that were discharged in the middle of the night. I suspect the family upstairs must be infected. The whole city turned off lights. It should be to avoid causing panic. Our country is probably working hard to investigate in secret. After all, the epidemic and zombie virus are different. Although watching dramas, everyone shouted to blow up the zombie's head. But if we really encounter it, it will only cause panic, and then out of control. Thinking of this, I suddenly felt quite calm. Maybe it's really the end. Maybe I can survive. Thinking of this, I suddenly laughed. When it's irreversible, it's better to die. Living is too painful. Today is the 15th day of my quarantine. It's raining today. It said that every autumn rain brings a chill. It's not autumn rain. It should be the winter rain. The indoor temperature today is 12 degrees. I have put on thick clothes. Since a few days ago, when I saw the sky getting cloudy and it was going to rain, I filled my house with drinking water because countless novels and movies tell us that rain in the end times. Rainwater will pollute clean water sources. I don't know if it's true. I still prepared for the worst. Actually, logically, since the outbreak of the apocalypse, we can't drink tap water casually, but I don't have bottled water, so I just drink it honestly. I'll just boil it more times. On the 16th day of quarantine, the water is cut off. Could it be true? Water source pollution or poisoning? My mind is running wild in the unspeakable place. Maybe it's because of lack of communication with people. I've been imagining a lot recently. 2 towels of different colors can be written into a touching story. It's called Being Bored. On the 18th day of quarantine, the water was restored, so I decided to wait. There was still some water stored. Let's use it later. I can see if the water is filtered clean and safe. On the 28th day of quarantine, someone came to my door. Although I have been very frugal with vegetables, but I ran out of green leafy vegetables a few days ago. The only vegetables left at home, only potatoes and frozen tomatoes are left. I think others are probably in a similar situation. That day, I just took out the potatoes I cooked before from the fridge and planned to dip them in soy sauce. It's night. I just need to eat something. Just after I took a few bites, I suddenly heard something unusual outside the door. It sounded like something was rubbing against metal. In a very quiet environment, any slightest movement would be amplified infinitely. I walked over carefully. I clicked on the display on the wall. There was someone outside and was trying to open the security door of my house. The older one was keeping watch, and the younger one was messing with my lock. They seemed to want to unlock the door. My house was targeted. Seeing this scene, my heart couldn't help but beat twice. And then I couldn't help shaking all over. This is just quarantine. They dare to pry the door. If the end of the world really breaks out, what these people would do in the end of the world, especially one of them I know. It's the old man who lives across from my house. Maybe the young man who couldn't pick the lock. Gradually became impatient. Laokiao, are you sure there's no one at home? I've been observing for a long time. His house has never been lit, and he never came out to receive supplies. There must be no one. Seeing Laokiao's confident look, I felt relieved. I'm glad I was cautious. If he knew I was alone at home, it would be dangerous. Don't use the wire to open it, and use pliers to remove it. Which is faster? The younger man threw away the wire in his hand, and then turned around and walked downstairs. It seemed that he was going back to get tools. The old man Kiao next door went home. When he came back, he had a screwdriver in his hand. I couldn't help cursing them for being inhumane. They have a lot of tools. It seems that they are determined to come in. I don't know if the things I prepared could scare them away. Soon, the man with the pliers came back. The pliers are really big and heavy. If they really fight, the fire department may not be able to beat it. I saw them gesturing outside the door where to start. My hands also rested on the bottom of the screen. The moment they started to use the pliers, the harsh alarm sounded in the corridor. Alarm! Alarm! Someone is illegally intruding. Alarm, alarm. Someone is illegally invading. The harsh alarm sound got louder and louder. It spreads far and wide in the quiet corridor. Damn it. The sudden alarm startled the door-prying man. The pliers fell to the ground and unfortunately hit his own foot. Lakiadu even ran back to his house at the moment. He ran back to his home. The sound of the door closing covered the screams. Damn, I smashed your door. The door breaker kicked the door. Alarm, alarm. Uploading images of intruders. Prepared to call the police. Hearing that the alarm was uploading, the arrogant man who picked the lock also ran away and didn't even have time to take the tools. Seeing them run away, my heart finally let go. I calmed down before turning off the alarm. Fortunately, they didn't know much about electronics. If it were a younger one, I might not be able to fool them, since the internet was down. Not to mention the automatic alarm. Not even the video recording. I can see outside. It's good that I bought the access control system before. It has a function of disconnection. Otherwise, it would be really difficult. It seems that I have to be more careful in the future. The 35th day of quarantine. It's been windy these days. The indoor temperature has reached 9 degrees. It must be below 0 outside, since someone knocked on the door last time. I moved the sofa to the door. I've been resting on the sofa since then, because I found that wherever it's not on the sofa, I couldn't sleep at all. Since this morning, the sky was gray, and the room was even darker. By noon, it started to snow outside. It wasn't the fluffy kind of snow, but the kind of snow like salt particles. It was as cold and hard as the wind outside. It's really too cold today, so I gave myself a self-heating hot pot. It's spicy due to the overpowering smell of this food. I usually avoided it, but it was really too cold today. I sat in the chair beside the bedroom, eating and observing the gate. This has been my regular entertainment during this time, because I am really depressed. Only seeing the occasional figure at the door can ease my increasingly anxious heart. Today, when I was bored watching, I suddenly noticed someone went out. I saw that person go out and said something at the door, and they started to pull each other. Are they crazy? Looking for a fight? I quietly watched their argument as I ate. It was like watching a silent movie. Soon, the troublemaker left. I continued to eat my meal. I was wondering whether to drink the spicy soup or not. Someone came to the door. I don't know whether this person was the same as the previous one, but they obviously didn't come with good intentions. Soon, more than 20 troublemakers left. Then several more groups came one after another. Among these people, I saw the man who knocked on my door before. It seems that our building is also involved. Maybe someone took the lead. In the next 2 days, people came to the guard room one after another, and even some fought with the guards. 2 days later, today was destined to be an extraordinary day. I didn't wake up by myself. I was woken up by the noise in the hallway. As the noise gradually faded away, I looked out from behind the curtain. I don't know when. There were many people standing outside. Some of them held sticks, and some even held kitchen knives. What are they doing? Are they going to war? I didn't dare to expose myself, but the gap in the curtains was really limited. I could barely see that they seemed to be gathering and discussed something, and went to the gate in a mighty manner. I finally fixed my phone to see what was going on. I was shocked. Why did they fight with the duty officers outside? This is a blatant attack on the police. The subsequent development was a bit unexpected. They drove the duty personnel away. Yes, that's right. They won. I don't know. What kind of mentality did they have? They removed the iron door and went out. Now it's really bright. More than 100 people worked really fast. In this way, I watched helplessly. I watched the community from a defensive bunker to a passage blown by ourselves. It only took less than half an hour. Seeing all this, my heart started beating wildly again. It shouldn't be. For a bank like our country's, which follows the policy, they shouldn't be so crazy. Just when I was puzzled, the bleeding man came back and brought back a lot of things. It seems that they have emptied a small supermarket. Based on their return speed, I calculated that it should be the supermarket outside. The supermarket owner is from the community. So, their action was just to empty the small supermarket. It shouldn't be to empty the small supermarket. It should be just incidental. I understand. It should be a demonstration or to express dissatisfaction. Since the lockdown, only 2 supplies have been distributed. The last one was a month ago. Maybe there's enough food, but general vegetables can't last for a month. So it's because of the lack of vegetables or dissatisfaction with the treatment at home. They ran crazy without internet. There may be various reasons, which eventually turned into this demonstration conflict. But no matter how angry they are, they shouldn't have torn down the iron fence. This is a matter of life safety. I sighed at home, but they didn't know.